Hey everyone, the Talking Dads podcast is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus. Mention that you heard about them through our podcast, and when you tour, and you'll receive $25 off of your registration fee. Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together. We are also brought to you by Pub Fredo Gastropub. Pub Fredo was voted Best Gastropub in Cleveland in 2019 by Cleveland Magazine Silver Spoon Awards. We love Pub Fredo. Their menu is chef-inspired, always pushing the limits of traditional pub fare. The other night I had a burger, I believe it was called the Pub Burger. It was incredible. Cooked perfectly. It was amazing. And you won't have a problem pairing your favorite item on the menu with their great selection of local craft beers, crafted cocktails, and of course, an amazing bourbon and whiskey selection. I went with the Bullet 10-year with my Pub Burger. All of this in a cozy, fun, come-as-you-are atmosphere. You can check them out at pubfredo.com and on Facebook and Instagram at PubFredo Gastropub. Hey, what's up, dads and moms and people without kids and anyone else who's listening? Thank you so much for tuning in. This week's episode features a Zoom call. We had the Talking Dads All-Stars on. So there were 6 dudes in one Zoom room. Yeah, we had a ton of fun. It was interesting. We were adjusting just like everyone else is. So this was about 2 weeks ago, right when this all kicked off. So again, we're just kind of running behind on putting episodes out, and hopefully you like it. It's interesting to see our take on it as we continue this lockdown or quarantine or shelter in place or whatever the hell you want to call it. Hope you guys are staying safe. Thanks so much again for tuning in, and enjoy.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
All right, what's up, boys?
What's happening, guys?
Welcome to
living the dream.
Podcasting with the Talking Dads All-Stars, right?
Sir.
So is this live right now?
No. We're just recording this, and we'll put it out as a normal episode. I don't know, man. We thought it would be cool to get everyone together and go through what's going on. This coronavirus crap is crazy. It's changing everyone's lifestyle, including the podcast. Like, we had to cancel 2 podcasts that we had set up this weekend.
Yeah, tonight and tomorrow. Canceled. Social distancing.
So we're making the best of it, trying to get some content out there, because I think, I don't know, we'll go through in a second here of like who's doing what, but for the most part, everyone's lives are changing, right? Like, some of us are working from home, some of us are laid off, some of us are, you know what I mean? Like, there's all different scenarios, and I think it changes how we do our day to day, especially like I know me, I got my kids at home and Chelsea's still working, so the last 2 days have been a freaking blur. Like,
it's a lot harder to watch porn.
Work, but
oh yeah, man. So Ian and I got together. We talked last night about all the stuff that we're working on, all the different activities with the kids, routines. I know BP, you're still working. Kev, you're working from home, right?
Time, like, who's
Yeah.
doing
And then go down the line. We'll start with BP.
What about my work situation?
What's your work situation? What your guys' routine is?
Well, I mean, for us, I guess, Tara's always been home, so it hasn't been too much of a change. It's just, obviously, Austin's home full time now, besides going to school a couple days a week. But, yeah, I've still been at work.
So you're
and I don't think
full time, like full hours, everything?
Yeah, I mean, just today we announced that like half our plant will be working from home. But that I have to. That won't affect me though. I have to be there. People that support the operation will have to be there.
Yeah.
And even if like when PA closed down, you know how like that was announced yesterday.
Yeah.
There's Parker plants in PA that are still working. I think that will still happen for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
That's
because
pretty
we make.
similar. Go ahead,
Same with
sorry.
you back, Nick?
Yeah. So ours is like a necessity. Like First Energy has to stay open, right?
Yeah.
So they have us marked as a company that has to stay open to support them. Same with the city of Cleveland, Columbus, Akron. All those cities require us to be open, so we can't close.
Yeah, so I don't. I'm just assuming it's going to be kind of normal for me going to work every single day.
Yeah.
That's what we've been saying at the plant. We just have to act like it's normal. We still have orders and all of that. So, and for Tara at home, it's the biggest change. She can't really go anywhere.
Yeah, that's the tough thing, man. It's like you can't get out of the house. It's just you're stuck.
Yeah, so we've been trying to go outside. Like I get home at night, we'll take the kids outside. Like we went outside yesterday and we're jumping around in puddles in the backyard and hanging out. And she had the kids outside for a while today, but so hopefully the weather breaks a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
It's fucking freezing outside right now. I tell you that much.
Yeah.
well, it was 66 and then it went down 20 degrees in 2 hours.
Dude, it's fucking 39 degrees. It was 40 degrees, 39 degrees. And this morning I had this great idea that I was going to grill tonight. I'm like, yeah, it'd be a good idea before it gets cold. Well, it fucking got cold before I can grill.
Yep.
You can still grill, bro.
You can always grill in
Oh,
this
yeah,
weather,
you
man.
know,
Come on, come on now.
I fucking froze my nuts off.
It's an excuse to go outside and have a beer.
True.
Touche.
Quiet time.
Quiet time.
Oz, what about you, man?
I'm working, man. So me and Hedda both. Like she's at the clinic. You know, markets are still open. People are freaking out about their money, and we're both, I guess, considered the same thing. Like it's essential businesses, and even if like the state shuts down everything, like we'll both be open. So kids aren't at school; they're like with the grandparents, like at my parents' house now, and we're just trying to keep them on lockdown, make sure they don't go out and the kids don't really go out outside of like just playing outside, but like, you know, out in public and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's just, it's crazy, man, but business as usual for us.
Lucky that
Yeah.
your parents live
Same.
close, you know?
Yeah. We're lucky for that.
All right. Well, let's see. Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, our whole company pretty much is now like 90% working from home. We have some essential functions that need to be in the office to do various code deployments and support the business. But I mean, we've very quickly found ways to adapt and do like remote code deployments, things of that nature, use video conferencing like this to run stand-up meetings and shit like that we've got going on. So it's been a company-wide adjustment that everyone's responded to pretty well. It's been pretty impressive just to see everyone kind of shift from, 250 people being in an office to all of a sudden all being remote and like virtually communicating with each other. I think we live in a generation where, like with our company, most of the people are a part of that generation where it's an easy transition because a lot of them live their lives using technology and social media and things like that.
So are your kids staying away from the office?
What's that?
Are your kids just come in your office?
I mean, we have a pretty good schedule with them because I mean, Amanda's obviously home because she's a teacher, and so she's got them on a pretty nice like little schedule. Like we're doing these activities at these different times, and I mean, they come in here and there. I mean, that's inevitable.
Oh yeah, it's inevitable.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, but you're also dealing with 100 other people that you're talking to on a daily basis that are all going through the same thing. So everyone's
Everybody gets it.
Understanding. Yeah.
So I'm going to get Colin into the office tomorrow morning just to kind of like test it out. I got 2 meetings, but they're all by phone. So like I was talking to him, I'm like, he's getting pumped up for it. He's really excited he gets to come with Dad to the office. But I'm like, all right, so like there's going to be set times if like you have to sit down and listen to Dad, watch your iPad. There's no like, so we're going to test it out and see how it goes. Like find some are pretty chill. They'll get it if like, they hear a little man just going crazy in the background. But
well, I think that's the thing. Like everyone understands that this is a unique situation that no one in this generation has ever gone through.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's not convenient for
I mean,
anyone, right? Like,
Nobody can see. I know. I'm asking him not to do it.
That's right.
Mhm.
Oh fuck.
Mhm. I couldn't keep the earphones in because they couldn't hear shit when I had the earphones in.
All right, well, Tobacco, now you're up, so
yeah.
Bob, let's
Yeah.
go, man. Do you want to share your guests?
you're on, dude.
So I am up until this week. I was working at the office, but I mean, I don't have to be at the office. I could work from home if I want. But if I work from home, I can't get shit done with my kids here. They're here, so my wife is working from home too because she works at UPS, so she's working remotely. So I mean, people like this last week has been crazy for me because restaurant owners and bar owners and business owners that are being shut down are calling and asking if they have business interruption coverage and if they have hazardous
Oh yeah.
hazard coverage, and the insurance companies aren't covering this. They're not. If you're a restaurant, a bar, a salon, tattoo shop, I mean, I have all of them. I have all those, and they've all called me all week, wanting to know if they have coverage for this, which is understandable, but they don't. I mean, this is something the insurance companies don't cover.
Mhm.
Like
not
it's not even
good.
an option, right? It's not like it's a super expensive, like the way it was explained.
No, it's not. No, it's not a coverage. This is not covered by any. Like, I couldn't add this to any package. This is not a coverage that's optional.
Right.
Because they're not closed. They're not losing business because of a what they call a covered loss. So it's not a water backup or flood or a lightning strike or wind and hail or any of that stuff. This is a government shutdown. And it's not terrorism, so we assume.
Yeah.
But none of that
but
stuff.
isn't this sort of like a natural disaster or a calamity? Like,
So it's not. And we've gone through. I mean, I have 10 carriers, and 4 of which we write business with. And I mean, we've been on the phone with and emailing and on the phone with all 10 of the carriers, personal and commercial, and there's just no coverage. I mean, we've tried everything. And people understand. I mean, all the businesses, they understand that it's not covered, but at the same time, you're like, fuck, like what am I supposed to do now? But I mean, you got to think about it. If the insurance companies, if everybody got paid out on business interruption, there would be no insurance company. Right. They would lose so much money that they would go out of business. I mean, let's say Liberty Mutual, for instance. Say they insure, just for shit's sake, say they insure 100 places. Well, all 100 places have a business interruption claim for, call it, 100,000, and say their net is a couple million. They're fucked. You know what I mean? So they're just they wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't do it. Now, some carriers are making exceptions. I have companies that want to, like bars and restaurants that want to deliver that don't usually deliver. So they're allowing some of the restaurants to cover employees delivering food. On the personal side, I have some carriers that are pushing payment late fees back. So, if you have a payment that's due, say the 23rd of March, and you're out of work and you can't pay it, well, if you don't pay it, you're not going to get assessed a late fee and you're not going to get canceled, but you have to pay it by the next month. So they're giving them about a month break. Hopefully by that time, either they get back to work or, stimulus, that stimulus package comes out and they get the, a check, or, in certain situations, if we call and we talk to billing and underwriting, they're going to be lenient. Sunday when it happened, I was getting calls Sunday night and I'm like, listen, I have no idea. I haven't even been to work. Like, I haven't talked to any of these companies yet. I'm like, let me go in, let me talk to them. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what they say. And of course, you call Monday morning and you're not the only guy calling. You're not the only agent calling. Everybody's calling. So by about Wednesday, we started getting some answers and some things started changing, and some of the carriers started approving some different things and coverages that aren't typical, you know what I mean? But they're allowing temporary coverage for certain things now. So it's been a crazy fucking week. Like, it's something that I've never experienced. I've been so busy. And everyone's like, oh, insurance must be slow. I'm like, are you nuts? So, but I think next week I'll probably work from home. We'll still have our sitter come over, and my wife and I'll work in the basement and just kind of get shit done. Because I mean, there's only 4 people in my office right now, so it's not like there's a ton of exposure. But I mean, if I don't have to be out, I'm not gonna go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Crockett, I mean, I give you credit from working from home, man. Like, I can't imagine. It's got to be difficult. I actually like going into the office. It's like separate. I can kind of grind away, do my shit, and then I'll come home when I'm done. But I don't know if I could do it. Like, I'm maybe it's coming at some point. Like, everyone's mandatory to work from home, but I don't know if I can do it.
I think it is kind of, I mean, I have a nice setup in here. I have, a nice like separated office and everything.
Yeah, I mean, so that brings us up to the next point here too. So like Kevin, you had mentioned that you guys have like a pretty strict schedule that you're following, right? So you guys have probably all seen the different like posts on Facebook of all these people who come up with different routines, hour by hour. And I mean, well, all of you guys have been really working, so I guess it's kind of hard to ask. I mean, Kevin, Ian, you said you got a schedule at home. Like a routine with the kids.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was really the first day that I stayed home, and so like I tried to like come up with a schedule with them in the morning, and I did it with the kids to try and get them involved in it so that they were, I don't know, I guess a part of it and would hopefully adhere to it more. But the reality is like yesterday, we were still open till 2:00. So I had stuff to do. I had to answer questions. I had to communicate. And so, I mean, the schedule went out the window pretty quickly when I was just like, all right, well, guess we're putting a movie on.
Yeah, well.
I mean, you just have to adjust, right? Like, I mean, we've been saying it already. It's like, it's not convenient for anyone. So, we just figured it out. And the kids loved it, of course. Today was a little bit better. I still had some interruptions just because I do still have some of my team working because there's stuff that we still got to get done, but it wasn't nearly as bad. And I was able to, take them outside for a while. We were able to do lunch. It was a little bit more normal. So I feel like every day it's going to get a little bit better. And then, hopefully we'll be back to actual normal sooner rather than later.
Yeah, well, it's hard to say. I mean,
right. We just don't know.
We don't.
We won't.
Same.
So what did he shut down daycares today? I didn't listen to his press conference.
No.
No.
So
daycares are considered essential, right? Like,
well, they're not technically considered essential, but what he said today was it's going to shut them down. But so we got what was it, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Fucking Raj.
What?
Get situated, Raj.
I was allowed? My bad.
No, so Tuesday or Wednesday, we were contacted. Every child care provider was contacted by the state and said, look, we need emergency, what are they calling it? Disaster license operators. If you're interested, here's how to apply for it. We're going to expedite this new license. And it's basically would be a license for me to be open only for what they would consider essential business kids. So your nurses and doctors, I'm sure financial would qualify, like Perry's situation, like most of you guys would all qualify because we're all working, right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is they didn't put a whole lot of incentive out there, and I don't mean to say that as in like, oh, it's just not worth it, because we looked into it pretty hard, because if the community needs it, we were willing to do it. But the fact is that there's no real clear way of how we get paid, and in order to staff that, I mean, I
know what you're getting.
Pay girls a lot more than they can. Like, I'm paying my staff, so they're not collecting unemployment. Like, we didn't do layoffs. So I'm paying them for at least 2 weeks. I'm hoping that 2 weeks.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough decision for us, but I mean, I'm nothing without my team. So we just thought it was the right thing to do, which is good. But then it put us in a situation where, like, well, no, we can't really open up. I mean, they're getting paid anyway right now. So if I wanted to have people come in and to watch kids and kind of have some sort of order, it would just cost us a lot of money to do. And it just wasn't really worth it. And it's still something we could do. Now, as of this morning, there was 0 Lake County providers that stepped up to do it. And then around 4 or 5 o'clock, there was 2. So it makes me feel better as if at least somebody's taking advantage. Because here's the other thing you got to remember. Like in our situation, we're going to, and which is why it made it easier to make the decision to pay everyone, is we're going to, they came out with pandemic days for state-funded kids. So low-income kids that get their childcare paid for, we're going to get paid for them regardless for at least, I think it's 21 days. So that's like 40% of our revenue. So we should be okay with paying people, and we're just, not going to make anything, but we'll at least be able to pay our staff. But these centers that are completely private, they're not getting anything unless they charge their families. And I know a lot of them are doing that, and I understand it, because just to stay afloat, I think that these pandemic licenses would be a good option for those centers. I don't know if they're doing them or not. I'm not sure which centers or companies were the ones that volunteered to do it or applied for this license, but I could see how that would make sense, because then at least you're getting something.
How long are you going to plan on staying closed for?
Right now we said 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks and 1 day. We closed yesterday. So the Monday, I think it's the 6th. We're
6th.
Opening. So unless there's like a mandated shutdown that prevents us from opening, we're going to open.
I mean, it's pretty insane. You like you go outside and shit, and you're just like wondering who has it.
Man, dude, I was at Target today.
I just don't want. I just go to work, come home. We just don't want to leave the house. I mean, I went to the grocery store today, but you just like walk around in there and you're just like,
it's you like hold your breath walking past people. It's like
I like kept my, you come out real quick, put hand sanitizer on, wipe
fucking
up.
speed walk through those bitches.
Yep.
Dude, oh hell yeah! Just avoid everybody.
Well, Giant Eagle today, I was so frustrated. I'm like, what are you people doing? Go home.
The reality is,
they're saying the same thing to you.
They said that
big bearded lug doing a fucking Giant Eagle. Go home.
I bet you like 2 out of 6 of us have it or have had it or will have it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the reality of it. Like, it's not. We're going to be fine. Like, most people are going to be completely fine. But it's like it's fucked up.
You're going to transmit it.
Well, when you think of like what is actually happening, like you've never seen this before. It's like every level of government is shutting down. And it's actually somewhat, it gives you faith in like humanity, because you're putting human lives ahead of like short-term economic prosperity. And, who I never actually thought about it. And, we're going through this right now, and that's the decision that we've made, and I'm actually happy for that. But it's definitely going to sting a lot of people in the short term, and we're going to save some people's lives that are vulnerable that would be affected by this. But it's crazy, man. Like, this is nuts. Like, I could have never ever kind of imagined going through something like this, but here we are.
Well, and like Raj, in your line of work too, like I have these guys who I work with that are in their 60s. And they're sitting there staring at their stocks all day, and they're just like, motherfucker, I could have just bought a Porsche 911 for what I've lost today.
All day.
I mean, it's scary to think what's going on with everybody's money and everything. I mean, I'm sure you're getting calls constantly.
That's like all it's been for 3 weeks, and it's just like people are on the cliff, and you're trying to talk them off of it, and the worst thing people can do right now is sell their investments. And like it'll make them feel better, because in theory they're stopping the bleeding today. Yeah. But you're locking in losses, and it's explaining to people that what's happening right now. There's such a disconnect between the emotional and behavioral side of what is actually happening with the market. The health crisis, how they're feeling about it versus fundamentals of the companies. And, this is like a man-made economic slowdown, and that's likely going to lead into somewhat of a recession, which is fine. I mean, you're going to go into recessions, but at least it's different than like previous pullbacks in the market, right? Like before 9/11, you didn't know that the Twin Towers is going to go down. You didn't know the housing market's going to go down over, at least here, we know that we're creating this, and the hope is there's some stimulus and, these restaurants and people that are out of jobs and industries that are going to be affected. Hopefully there's a path forward, and you can kind of jump out of this when the dust settles. But it's been nuts, man. And you feel for people, it's real dollars, and but that's the hard thing. Everyone they're looking at it and it's like sticker shock, and it's happening so quick. It's trying to talk about longer term stuff, but yeah,
there's a big difference between, like us, like we'll have time to recover from this.
Yeah, we'll bounce.
If you're in your 60s, late 60s, and you're trying to eye retirement, like this is where, like you said, you're having to talk people off the ledge because they're looking to pull the trigger and just pull everything out. And if everyone does it at the same time, then that's just going to be domino effect, I would imagine.
You're right, but so you're right in that, but the reality is for like a 60-year-old or 70-year-old, retirement is like it's not the finish line. That's when like life actually starts, and with healthcare and the way people live, like you have 20, 30 years of retirement. So you're still growth oriented when you retire. So whether you retired a year ago or you're retiring now, the money's still in the market and you're on the roller coaster. It's just, do you have the proper plan in place of money in safer types of investments to like kind of cash flow you through the next few years of your cash needs? But for like us, as bad as it sucks, like in theory, and you probably never want to hear a financial advisor say this, but like the best thing that could happen for people our age is markets to be down, because you put in the same amount of dollars every pay period and you're buying more shares at a lower price. So who cares if the market's down? It's better because you're just accumulating more of something, and eventually things will turn, and you're going to get the benefit of that bounce even more rapidly. So I feel for our parents and like, people like you're saying that you work with, Steve.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. But that's like an emotional component of the reality. Like they'll be fine. It's just, it's hard to conceptualize that though.
Oh yeah.
They'll be fine. They just have to work 10 more years.
Yeah. Well,
That's a good point, Raj, though. I mean, like, I always think, like, and look, I'm not somebody that I think will ever retire, like, completely. I'll just do something different, maybe, or, whatever. Like, but I think I do, like, because, again, I'm not really well versed in, like, financial planning and all that kind of stuff. But, like, I think that there is this stigma that, okay, it's retirement age now, I'm done. And I cash out everything and that's what I live on. And that's not the case, right? Like, I didn't really think of that, but you're right. It's still going to stay in there and grow, and you're just going to take out, whatever your living expenses are for that month. And right. I mean,
100%. So like, the old adage is like, okay, when I retire, I'm going to put my age in bonds or safe investments, right? But you have to look at the world we live in today. The Federal Reserve just lowered interest rates to 0. The 10-year Treasury is at 1%. So any level of risk you take off of that 10-year, any interest you're getting on it, you're taking risk to get it. That's the risk-free rate. So we're in a low interest rate environment. So you're not getting that return that you traditionally have of past generations. So you're going to be invested in the market because you have to. You have to beat inflation. Like 1% is not even beating inflation, So you have to take some level of risk, and you have to understand that part of your money is going to be on this roller coaster. You just have to identify what you need on an annual basis, and then set aside 5 years, 6 years, 7 years of that in safer types of investments. And then the rest of it is in more growth oriented, because that's what you have to do right now. But it's a crazy world right now. And I mean, rates are going lower, right? And when you talk about stimulus and things like that, like it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of come up with this plan, because there's not a lot that they can do based on the current environment.
Right, because we're already so short, right? Like,
what's that?
Because we're like, they can't cut rates
Well, even if they give you money, you can't. There's nowhere to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Well,
That's
so
the crazy thing is, like we've said, like we don't know how long this will go. Ian, you said you guys are closed for, at the moment, 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
You know, they say everything's closed for 2 to 3 weeks. The terrifying thing is we don't know how long this is going to take. Shit, look where Italy's at right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They're going on like 6 weeks now?
Yeah. And they're just getting worse.
Right. They're still worse.
They're in worse condition than China is.
Yeah, China's starting to come back.
They were very late to take preventative measures, though. I think that us, and especially in Ohio, DeWine has been quick to act, and then other states have followed suit. That guy has he's been an awesome leader during this time.
Think about it, like from a state perspective, I mean, he really has been. And like yesterday, how many states shut down? So California, Illinois did today. I mean, complete lockdown for 2 or 3 weeks, whatever it is. I mean, that's insane.
Well, I mean, like California and New York are just out of control. I mean, for a good reason. I mean,
New York is the other one, yeah.
Yeah,
but that's 75 million people are on lockdown right now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You look at China, you look at Italy, you look at the nursing home in Washington, like in densely populated areas, this is going to spread more quickly. That's the nice thing we have in Ohio. We're a little bit more spread out. And so hopefully like we kind of get through it and get over the cases. But what you might see is like, all right, Ohio's passed it, but you can't leave Ohio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't go anywhere.
We're stuck.
We're good, but we don't want anyone coming here, and you're not going anywhere. But we can party at least.
Yeah.
You know, the hope. And then, you know.
Here's the thing: we don't have public transit either, and I think that's a big component where we don't have like subways and shit like that these major cities have. That those places are just cesspool and breeding ground.
Oh yeah, I mean, like New York's situation is it's so overpopulated, and you have the international. I mean, you have like the flights coming in constantly. You have people coming in from everywhere, so they're just getting crushed. Same thing with California.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense as to why they got hit the hardest. But
oh yeah,
you know, you hope that because of the work that DeWine and his team has done, that. And again, I'll go back to like Kev, what you said earlier. It's like amazing what, as a society or as individual businesses and individual people have done to like adjust. And like we're blessed that it's 2020 and we have tools to telecommunicate and things like that. But still, I mean, if like Kevin, 2 months ago, if you were to tell all like your entire company, hey, tomorrow we're all working from home, figure it out. Do you think anyone would be able to do that? Like at that time, you probably like, no, that's not happening. We need a plan for this. We need to do that. We need to do that. But it's amazing to see what people can do. When forced, right? You just have no other option. So we get it done.
And I think we've had a ramp up period to where we kind of saw this coming for at least a week and a half, 2 weeks. So we could put measures in place. Like how do people access things from home? How do they get access to the tools and the resources that they need? How do we communicate with each other? So we had a very short runway, and it's very impressive how we worked with the short runway that we were given. But I mean, yeah, for sure. If it was
like he's been communicating every day for 2 weeks now, and really giving updates and like look, he gives hints all the time. Like that was one of the reasons that we decided to shut down, you know, kind of voluntarily was. Look, daycares will be closed. Daycares will be closed. You know, he's saying it every single day, like, not yet, but it's coming.
Yeah. Gotta give you a heads up.
Right. And so, like, that allowed us to make the decision saying, okay, we can either do one of two things. We can either be told to shut down randomly on a Tuesday, you know, that you're not in business as of tomorrow, or we give everyone enough time and plan for it. And I think that's what a lot of places are doing. And so, yes, it might be a short runway, but if any kind of heads up helps.
Well, because you have to prep for yourself and your employees, but you also have to prep parents and families and like that impacts a lot of
Sure.
a lot of different lives in a lot of different ways.
No, a lot of centers in town, they told their families today at like 3:00, hey, we're not open Monday. And like,
Yeah. And that's tough too, because I mean, you can't plan for it. Like, for example, for me, like I have to work still. Now I have the option to work from home, but I also need to be at work at the same point. So I've been waiting for Liz's work to close, like we kind of knew it was coming. Like you said, DeWine kind of hinted towards it coming, but we weren't really sure. And her company was holding out the whole time for as long as they possibly could. And so it's tough. I mean, with daycare closed, people need to figure out how to balance everything and how to make it work. But I feel like a lot of companies are making it work, and it's cool to see everybody kind of putting it together, helping each other out. And Ian and I talked about this last night on our podcast. It's just really, it kind of sucks that like something like this needs to happen for people to get like, like united again. Like, see people come together and help each other out. And but it is happening, and it's a positive thing at the same time with all the negatives going on.
Yeah, right. It's putting aside petty shit and saying, okay, what's critical? What do we need to get done? How do we do it? Let's just do it. Like, we'll worry about it later. Like, I feel like it's a lot of like stopgaps, right? Like that's what we did is we said, all right, well, we're going to make the decision for 2 weeks. That gives us 2 weeks for the federal government and the state government and the local government to figure out what the next steps are, communicate that, and then we can formulate a plan of how we're going to move forward when we open up again. And because there's a lot of stuff with us that's really in the air right now. I mean, if the schools really close for the rest of the year, that changes my business model drastically.
Absolutely.
A bunch of school-age kids that need space. I'm not staffed for that. Like, yes, I have kids that, are like, a lot of times my summer staff is ramped up by college kids. And so we don't even start interviewing and do stuff for that till usually like April.
Yeah.
For like spring break time when they all come home. But so we got to start figuring that out, because if we're going to have, an extra 20 or 30 kids in the building, we got to figure out how to staff that. We got to figure out, how to plan for that. There's e-learning pieces to it, where a lot of the schools are requiring the kids to log on and do work from there, so we got to be able to support that. And so those questions like we're trying to deal with right now is, okay, what do we need? Again, 40% of our families are low income. Like, they don't have laptops or iPads that the kids are bringing. Like,
they don't have the resources, and that's I mean, that's the same with Amanda as well. I mean, she got a notification last week that they're going to have to be going in next week to set up this distance learning program and Google virtual classrooms and all of these things. And a lot of her students don't have the same access that other districts have. Right.
So, I mean, exactly. And like, so we understand that's a problem. And I'm sure other childcare centers do too, because these kids are going to go somewhere. So like, we're trying to figure out how can we support that, and how can we, like, what does it take for us? Is it just getting a bunch of laptops? Like, all right, let's figure out how to do that. And so that way we can support it and really make sure that we can service the community needs.
Yeah. So then let's go to like DeBacco and Raj and Perry. So you guys have DeBacco and Raj, both of you guys are at work. So your wives are at work, you're at work. You guys said you have babysitters and nannies, right? So
my wife's not working. Well, she's at home. She works remotely.
So she is home then.
Yeah, she's been home for the last 2 weeks, about working from home. She's not taking any meetings, doing a lot of this Zoom too. And I'm so ignorant to all this shit because I don't do any of this stuff. So I'm like, I'm going to do a Zoom
it, bro.
She's like,
Zoom it, bro.
Oh yeah. She's like, I did the one yesterday. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. But really quick, I do have to add a little bit of humor to the whole series.
Absolutely.
I mean, how can we get a fucking amen for DeWine twin sister doing the fucking interpretation? I mean,
I feel like I was ahead of that.
Is she a female version of him or what, dude?
Really?
Wait, that's his sister?
No.
It's not his twin sister then.
No, not for real, but
Raj, it's not his real sister, Raj.
he looks just like him.
Tight.
Hilarious, dude. It's
I mean,
That
hilarious.
WWE meme with them two
Did
is
you see
amazing.
that one? Did I send that out, or did you see it somewhere else?
I saw it online, them coming out of the tunnel and her
Oh my
just
God,
like,
we're DeWine's Vince McMahon.
Oh, dude, it's
So good.
It's awesome.
You know what's cool?
Oh.
So here's the other thing about, like, specifically to that, like how amazing Governor DeWine is. Like, so he's using that as a platform now, and he's saying, like, shout out to our interpreter, our sign language people, 330,000 deaf people in Ohio that, you know, this is how they live their lives. And, like, I don't know, I just thought that was really cool for him, like, through all of this to turn, like, again, I'm all about finding the positives. So, like, oh, we lost
Steve.
I'm here.
Stevie V's
Steve.
out.
we lost Steve.
It's like, you guys want to make fun of fucking deaf people? I'm out.
No, anyway, I think
Is
that's-
this your guys' first time using technology?
I thought that was cool though, that he, like, throughout this whole thing is like, that was a good, like, pause, like, hey, this is kind of cool that what we're doing. But yeah, she's amazing.
Mhm.
dude, how many claws deep are you?
Me?
Yeah, I see you sipping those claws, bro.
That's up. You know, I'm so
We
fucking
need-
stupid. I'm so dumb. I came to my room and I brought one and I brought a fucking glass of bourbon with me and I finished the claw and I'm like, I'm gonna have to go fucking run downstairs really quick because this is almost empty too. I mean, fuck.
So I gotta
Why
admit,
didn't you grab a Smirnoff Ice while you're down there?
I
We
was
talked about it.
so tempted to go buy some Smirnoff Ice, go put him in his mailbox, and then, like, halfway through the call, just being like, hey, you need to go check your mailbox. Like, that would have been
Go put them in his.
That would have been fucking pretty funny.
I wanted to do it, but I ran out of time.
We wouldn't have enough time for me to chug a Smirnoff Ice either.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I think the
I know,
big-
it's getting late.
Raj.
We don't got
Come
time.
on, Raj.
Bro, you guys are crazy, man.
Guys got to work tomorrow. He said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grinded.
I gotta work too tomorrow. I got kids all day. What are you talking about?
that's work.
I'm gonna tell them to go outside and play in the frozen puddles.
So, what
Are we,
like
are we allowed to get together and not like be around each other? But
Why the fuck do you think we're doing this?
I mean, but I think you can actually do that, right? Like,
Technically,
look,
the guidance right now is less than 10 people.
that's not that far away.
It's fucking
About
What is
6
it,
feet.
3 to 6?
I would
Right?
prefer this.
3 to 6 feet, less than 10 people, right?
With you, Kev.
Yeah, I mean, like, we could do that.
We'll do it that meme with those dads standing in the middle of the street, like 10 feet apart from each other.
yeah, that's good. Yeah,
You guys want to have a catch?
So no, that's the thing. Like, I mean, in my office, you know, we're still like around people. Like, I met with clients today. They came into the office. And
Jesus.
You have people coming.
Flatten the curve.
Listen, I'm trying to tell them not to.
LA.
Like,
You said two out of 6 must have it, motherfucker. You're definitely one of them.
I know.
You're definitely one of them.
It's all right. So I guess we're not hanging out.
I mean, we can. I hung out with Ian last night.
Yeah.
See, everyone's doing it. I was at Heinen's. I saw fucking Antonio. I gotta go to D'Agostino's this weekend. Like,
He told me. He's like, I saw Raj 3 days in a row or 2 days in a row at Heinen's.
I did it 2 days. Like, randomly the last 2 times I'm at Heinen's, I see fucking A Trainer. Like,
I mean, you're assuming that everybody's staying home like you are. I mean, that's what you have to assume, right? I go to an office with almost 100 people. You're assuming that everybody's home,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or at least you hope they are.
I hope
I
so.
mean,
You
Yeah,
hope.
right.
Right.
Shit, I mean, it crossed my mind that we had Joey Bruno on last week. Dude was in Disney 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're the second one that's got the Rona.
Yeah.
Second
dude,
and
don't come at the Asians, bro. Like, I don't understand. Fucked up, bro.
Because it's from
You're
China.
more susceptible because you're Asian. Nah, I'm kidding. I was racist. I'm kidding.
How about those senators that sold all their stocks after getting the intelligence brief?
Yeah, right?
Dude,
My
that,
God.
Fucked up, man.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
It's crazy.
I mean,
Don't tell me none of you motherfuckers would have done it either.
Well, they had to disclose that shit.
really,
They still did it. That's ballsy.
Beef.
really put yourself in that position. What would you do? So I assume so that briefing that I assume all of the Senate got that briefing.
Yeah, they're not allowed to trade on that's considered inside information. They're not allowed to trade on that. If you told me like, yo, hey, I think the coronavirus is going to do this, and I went and sold stock in my portfolio, or Steve did, that's different than these guys are getting inside information on the effects and what this is going to do. Because here's what's bullshit. Those guys, they went out and publicly told the public and their constituents, we have it under control. Every measure is in place. Then there's a recording of it. The dude from Georgia, I think he's Georgia, maybe North Carolina. He had a luncheon with 10 donors, and it was like $500 a luncheon. These guys are like donating to his campaign or whatever. And he told them, he's like, this is going to hit the fan. Companies are going to be shutting down. You're going to be working from home. This is like the 1918 Spanish flu. Like, so obviously he knew the severity of it, told the general public one thing, acted in his own self-interest, and told his boys the other thing. So that's fucked up. That's a no-no.
That's a big no-no.
Raj, you get information. You better tell us.
Yeah.
But now this is being recorded.
Listen,
Yeah.
Text me.
I'm a nobody. Like, when I get information, like, the information's been had like 10
Call
ways.
Cordelazzi.
Raj,
Seriously.
don't let anybody tell you you're a nobody.
Yeah.
You're
So,
somebody.
Thanks,
Let's
guys.
all lift Raj up right now.
Mom.
Raj, you're somebody.
Somebody with corona.
You the mumps.
Thanks, guys.
We the moms.
We love you.
No, but
Dude.
honestly though, I mean, put yourself in that situation. Can you imagine like being told something like that, and that you're basically being told that your portfolio is going to lose millions? Can you imagine not being able to act on that?
It'd be tough.
I mean, I guess that goes with the job,
Yeah.
but fuck, I don't know. I
I would have never predicted.
I mean,
for thinking like, is Tobacco sleeping? I'm pretty
No.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
Guys,
I've checked on him like several times.
Ian, here's the thing, though.
You okay?
If you get that information and then you go publicly and tell your state, like, listen, this is coming, this is serious. That's one thing. And then you could justify your actions. He told everyone everything is fine. We have it under control. Don't worry about it. But his actions are different. So when he goes and tries to justify what he did.
So, but again, you're still in a rock and a hard place, though, because I guarantee you at that briefing, they were like, listen, this is serious, but we don't want to incite panic. Here's what we're going to say, which I totally get. Like, I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but like I know even from like when I was in the military, like there was things that like I would know before people, you know, I had a clearance.
Yeah.
I would learn things and you would see it play out, you know, 3-4 months later. But I mean, it wasn't like crazy information. I didn't have that high of a clearance, but like.
Well, you have to understand about Raj is he has all the clearance. All right. First of all, no bubbles.
No bubbles.
Guys, we don't talk
He has
about
a
that.
seal.
Well, obviously. Just trained like one, I should say.
No fucking bubbles.
There he is. He's back.
What happened?
What
What happened? Buddy.
I'll be right back. I gotta get some food.
Grab me a beer.
Some food.
So what else are you guys doing? Like what else is impacting you guys that you weren't planning on? You know, obviously the work thing is crazy. And like for a lot of us, well, literally all of us, our kids are home now. It just changes your way of life, right? And like, especially as a dad, I'm racking my brain here trying to figure out, like, I've never leaned on my staff and my teachers so much as to be like, okay, like, what do you do for this? And how do I get them to do that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out how to make it somewhat because yes, we are closed, but the reality is like it's my business. There's still things that I'm doing every single day to take it. Well, number one, take advantage of the time that we're off, but number two, like my business is still a business. Like I'm coming back, so like there's things that I have to do. So I'm trying to figure out how to manage these kids while I'm still functioning, not only as an adult but as a business owner. So like, is there other things like that you guys really did get?
Well, what I mean,
That.
what if anything, like, have you told your kids or do your kids know about like the severity of like what's going on around them? Like their environment is changing. I mean, from our standpoint, this is our spring break, so it's kind of like expected. But I would have to imagine that when it's like 4, 5, 6 weeks and we haven't left, we haven't gone anywhere, questions are going to start being asked. Like,
We got movement.
uh-oh.
Chess is all right. Don't
So
We got movement.
no,
so
you're
like have any of your kids noticed or said like, hey, why are we like, what's going on?
Well, like, like for my kids, like we're used to going to school every day, right? You're used to going to daycare every day, or like your kids, like you guys, BP, like Ian, Kev, like your kids all go to school, right? So it's like, or I mean, they're kind of confused as to why. I mean, they're kind of probably excited about the idea that they're going to be home with mom and dad all day. But have any of your kids asked, like Kevin said, have any of your kids asked, like, why are we not going to school? Why are we home all day? I mean, it's the whole schedule really shifted. It's like a long ass weekend for them.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, so we're all in the same boat. Like our kids are all under. I mean, Max is 5, but I mean he's the oldest, right? So
yeah,
all of our kids are 5 or younger, which it's kind of hard for them to comprehend. I know.
absolutely.
Have you guys told them what's happening? Have any of you guys?
Yeah, I have. Like
I have not.
every time my kids sneeze in my face, I just yell at them and
I try to explain the fact that, hey, we need to stay clean, right? We need to wash our hands as much as possible. Sam's always like, why do I have to wash my hands so much? I'm like, just wash your damn hands. Even though we're not even leaving our house, we're washing our hands like.
Well, then
every
probably
half
the
hour.
like the other thing outside of that is that like all of the neighbors are home and the kids are home and they're all playing outside. He's like, oh, I want to go outside and ask the neighbor if they can play. And it's like, well, no, we can't. Like,
Yeah,
we're not just
you
going
don't
to
even
be
wanna go
playing
near
with
them.
all the neighborhood kids, right? So
It's scary, man. I mean, you don't know.
luckily, it hasn't been that nice to where like they're going to be outside all day every day where it's like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
True.
But at the same time, it's like fucking a double-edged sword because you're like, I want them to get the fuck outside so they can burn off some of this energy. They're bored inside doing the same shit.
Yeah.
And we're spinning our circles trying to, figure out like, okay, well, yesterday we did Legos and painted and colored and did the alphabets on the iPad. Like, okay,
You've exhausted everything.
Fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like as much as it's like I want them to go outside, I don't want them to go outside. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go outside. I do want to go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's tough too because I mean, it makes you appreciate schools and daycare so much more because they have a structure. It's like, well, shit, like we could do academic hour, we could do creative hour, we could do this and that, but it's like, damn, I'm running out of ideas. I'm on Google. I mean, what are we in the middle? Like a few days, and I'm already scrambling to try to find activities for them to do.
You know what's
Day
funny?
5.
You know what's funny, Steve?
Day 5.
You send the Snapchats. You're like, sorry, I'm just with the kids. I'm bored, whatever. Well, when you send Snapchats of some of the things that you're doing, it's giving me ideas of things that I wouldn't even thought of to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
dude,
yeah.
like lunch in the back of the car.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and you're right though. I mean, I don't want to annoy you guys with like Snapchats of what I'm doing every now and then, but you're right though. I mean, it is good for you guys to send us and for us to send each other ideas because then we're like, oh, I should do that or I should try this.
Right.
But I mean, it's tough in March. I mean, the weather's constantly changing. I mean, today it was 66 degrees at 11, and then at 2, it's 45.
Yep.
So I mean, like Ian, did you get outside and go jump in the puddles like you wanted to?
We did.
There you go.
You know what though? My kids, so especially Sloan, so she's 2.5, obsessed with Peppa Pig, and all she wants to do is jump in muddy puddles. So I was like, you know what? We're going. We got the rain boots on, and like it was nice enough that they didn't need coats. They just had like long sleeve shirts on. And we're walking around outside, and like there's a in my neighborhood there's a whole section where it was like a big deal because there was supposed to be like 3 lots there, and they weren't allowed to build on them because there's some species of bird or something like that they weren't allowed to build on it. It was like a natural habitat. So there's
Okay.
like nice woods, and right off of the street there's like these huge, like just the drainage is terrible right there, and there's just like these giant muddy puddles. I'm like, you guys, this is where we're going.
This is it.
We make our way over there, and so it's in one of the cul-de-sacs. It's like right off in one of the cul-de-sacs, and I am so ecstatic. I'm like, you guys, this is it. This is the Super Bowl
Total you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
the moment we've been training for. And they look at it, and then they look at like in the cul-de-sac, there's like the size of, I don't know, like a 4-foot long, like 2-inch deep puddle in the cul-de-sac where like it just wasn't paved correctly. And that's what they wanted to fucking jump in. I'm like, guys, you're like knee deep in mud and like dirt and everything else over there. Like, this is amazing. They had wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, well,
We sat around.
Yeah.
It was cleaner, but
they have other plans, man.
I was pushing them to go over there, and they're just like, nah. I'm like, all right, whatever. But yeah, we did get to jump in some puddles. We did get to go play around outside. We got
That's good. I mean,
baseball. So
today was good for it. Like you saw, I took the kids to my grandma's house. She's 98,
that was so cool.
and I got my kids to go over there to go see grandma.
98.
So, she's 98.
You know,
So we took them over there.
He's live forever.
She's the boss.
Boss. Grandma Sue, man.
Dude, Grandma Sue is such a
But yeah, so I mean, like, so each one of you guys, maybe you could share an idea. Like, we have all these different like activities that we do. Like, one today was we took the kids for a walk before I had to go into work, and I had them find different things. Like, as we were walking, I'm like, hey, see if you can find a stick. So they would go and find a stick. I'm like, throw it in the wagon. See if you could find a leaf. So they go grab a leaf. See if you can find a pine cone, a rock, what have you. So now tomorrow, I told Liz, I'm like, get a shoebox or like a box and put glue in it and have them make like a shadow box of all the shit we found today, and just glue it in there. So make it an activity for them to kill some time, you know? So I don't know, I guess we could go around the circle here and see if you guys have any ideas, like any different things, activities that you guys do, or something like a crazy idea that you guys have come up with.
Steve, I can't hit the button, but that's like a great dad hack, because now you've just made an activity for really 2 days.
Yeah.
So you
guys are such better dads than I am.
You do the scavenger,
Jesus.
do the art project related to it. That's amazing. Great job.
Hey, thanks, man.
Make me feel like shit.
Well, hey, then
Literally.
You should.
let's start with Raj then. Raj, what kind of activities you got
I'm
for
gonna
your
read
kids?
a book. I'm gonna like change some diapers. I'm gonna play with the kid. It's like that kind of stuff. You mean?
Let's every day, bro.
Come back to me. Let me get some ideas. You guys got it.
All right.
Well, you're bringing your kid to work
fuckers.
tomorrow, right? Like that's how you're doing something different.
Yeah,
You're-
Raj, talk. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
in the office.
Yep. He's gonna learn about stocks and the economy and bond market. It's gonna be fun. I love it.
Yeah, he's gonna love it. He's gonna love it.
Make sure he's not insider trading.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'll put him away.
I have a funny story that I thought was a good idea of something to do with the kids. So my wife ordered a bunch of washable paint from Amazon, right? So it comes in last week or whatever, 10 days ago. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll pour 6 different colors. So I'll pour a couple different colors on each plate, and they can, they have paintbrushes and different kind of like things that they can, make designs with or whatever, right? So I'm like, all right, it's a good idea. It's washable, so I'll put it on this big dining room table, and I'm like, I'll just leave it alone for a couple minutes. I come back. My daughter has fucking paint all over her hands, and she goes, Daddy, look. She goes, finger paint. I'm like, awesome, good idea. I'm like, I go get a piece of paper, and she's doing it, whatever. I look up, and she goes, Daddy, look at that. I look over at the fucking window, and her fucking handprints all over the way.
Awesome.
Wait.
I was gone for a minute.
Anthony.
A minute.
Wait.
I'm like,
The way you said that was like, let me throw this paint all over the table and then leave him alone and let
Yeah,
him.
you walked away from that situation.
Listen, so I didn't mean to leave him alone. I was like, okay, we have like an open floor plan. Like, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in the kitchen. I'll come back. I'm gonna get some shit, and I'll come back and get ready, like get their lunch ready. And I wasn't even gone 45 seconds. When I come back, I'm like,
That's all it takes.
oh, fuck. But it was washable. So I had a little Windex. It was gone. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, listen. I'm like, you want to do the hand paint? The paint that's good. We'll do it on cardboard box or some paper or fucking daddy's face, but not the furniture, not the windows, not the carpet. So 2 days later, so that was it's the next day. So that was a Saturday. So Sunday, I'm like, you guys want to paint? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't want to fucking get all the shit out. I don't want to clean up all the fucking mess. I don't want to have to throw the fucking shit away. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. But I'm like, okay, we're gonna do it. I did the same thing. And I'm like, I'm not gonna leave the room. I'm gonna watch them, and I'm gonna just let them do what they're gonna do. Like, I think I might have like looked at a text message, and I'm talking 10 seconds. I look down, and my daughter's like this on the fucking table. And I'm like, paint is not gonna be anything we do ever again. And every day, Rocco's like, Dad, can I paint? I'm like, here's some fucking crayons. Go color. I don't want colors.
Same.
He's like, can I use the markers? I'm
The
like,
funny thing
you
is,
can't even use the fucking markers because the paint's more washable than the fucking markers are.
the
Yeah.
funny thing is, that's exactly how he says it to his kid. Is here's some fucking crayons.
Yeah, we all know tobacco.
Not me. We were just talking tonight. Like, so my wife's friend is over, and we were just talking. Like, I was telling a story, and
Social
I was
distance.
motherfucking. She goes, you say fuck a lot, and I'm like, yeah, but the kids don't repeat it. Like, they don't say it a lot, and Rocco says, say what? And I was like, nothing. He goes, fuck. I'm like,
Yeah.
As he slams a White Claw and just throws it.
Crushes it on his head.
I just want to be like, Daddy.
Hold on.
I was fucking. Listen, I was
Does
fucking,
it take him an hour to pound a juice box?
Oh.
So
Come on.
So tonight I was
Shots fired.
Burped. He goes, I burped. He goes, oh, Daddy. He goes, what did you drink? I said, that's a daddy drink. He goes, is that a White Claw? And I'm like, my man.
My man.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Speaking of White Claw, I'm going to go take a pause and go get one.
All right,
Go get it.
I-
Kev, what do you got? You got any ideas? You got any activities?
Amanda's been pretty much running that show. I mean, she has like worksheets and things that they're doing. Like, we try and replicate as much as, like, especially Max, like what he does at Gabe's on a day-to-day basis. I don't know if like Ian, you guys are doing that with Gibbs or whatever, but they have like their daily sheets or whatever that they do. And then like when I do my like at-home workouts and shit, like if I'm in the garage or I'm running or I'm doing whatever, try and just like include them as much as possible, because it helps them burn off energy and steam and get some of the bed earlier, quite honest. But
Yeah.
It's a good idea to work out.
Yeah, for sure.
No, honestly though, that is a good idea. Like I kind of did that with the kids this morning. Is we were doing Steve, we looked up that Spider-Man yoga thing,
Yeah.
and so like we were doing that with the kids. So
Wait, so what's Spider-Man yoga?
So
I think we might need to get into that.
Well, there's this yoga thing like online. I saw somebody on Facebook posted it. There's this it's called Yoga Time, and there's this woman. She does yoga for kids, and they have like all these different movies and like cartoons. Like, she does different themes every episode. It's all on YouTube, and so they had Spider-Man,
And
the
they're
like,
short.
superhero thing. What's that?
and they're short, like they're
Yeah,
like
they're short.
15 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Might
we
have
did,
to
like,
check that out.
Yeah, like yesterday we did 2 or 3 of them, and it kept them busy. They were super into it too. Like, they actually did it. Like, and it's just like more exercise and yoga, and I mean, it worked out great.
Like it, man. They do like superhero poses and like it's literally brilliant.
It really is. She's that whole thing that she put together is genius.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
check that out if you guys haven't seen it yet.
they just have so much energy that's just like bent up like all day, and especially if it's going to be like 30s this whole weekend, like,
Oh my God, we're stuck inside.
we got to do something. Yeah.
And there's nowhere to go, man. You can't go anywhere.
Right. So it's not like you can go to the aquarium or you can go to Children's Museum or like just
Exactly.
normal things you would do if.
Right. No, I think
You just got to figure it out.
to involve them in like a workout type thing, whether it's outside, inside, whatever.
So it's basically like our childhoods, because we didn't go do any of that shit though. Honestly, think about it. Like,
No.
how often do we go to like the aquarium or? You
Bro,
know what I mean? Like, I feel like
We-
take kids and
We
just
entertained ourselves. Like, we played on our own. We
I
entertained
know,
ourselves.
but
Like,
maybe this
these
is
kids
silver
don't do
lining.
that.
But maybe this is how they learn it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
Just lock them in the
we're
basement.
doing all this stuff that we wanted to do, or like, we want to expose our kids, and it's great. Like, they're gonna have all these new horizons, but for this period of time, they get to learn the old school ways of like, figure it out. Let's go, boys, girls.
Absolutely, that is very true. And I mean, it's like you think about like it's spring break, right? It's an extended spring break, so it's like during summer break, what do we do? Like what do we do as kids?
I know.
We went out and played, right? I mean, we went out, we figured out, we kind of entertained ourselves. I feel like it's a different time.
It's hard, though,
I feel like as parents, we feel like we need to come up with an activity. We got to figure something out for every moment of the freaking day. But maybe Raj is right though. Maybe there's maybe we don't need to be so crazy about it. I don't know.
so rigid in the schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
Let them be kids.
I think it's hard though, because we all, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but we all think of our childhood, and what we think of is like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like those ages.
Yeah.
All of our kids are
You don't remember 3, 4, 5.
No, we don't remember any of that shit.
When we were able to go out and ride our bikes and stuff like that, and go to somebody's,
Yeah.
right.
so it's different right now.
Like we
Sure.
like our kids are so dependent on us now.
So dependent.
I
And then-
get that, but my parents never took me like to the art museum and
Mine
the
either.
children's museum. that kind of stuff.
Patterson's, not
It's like we were.
You're right. You're right.
I went to Patterson's like at 25 for the first time in my life.
35.
Seriously, dude.
100%.
And
Yeah.
that's the honest truth. And so that's what I'm saying. Is like,
I didn't even know that place existed until I had kids.
It's
Right,
true.
Kevin?
Very
It's
true.
true. I mean, maybe I think like with what we see on a daily basis, I mean, now that a lot of us are home and you're looking at like Facebook and shit, so you see like, you almost feel pressured to do these things. Like
Yes.
I got to do this. I got to cover this. I got to cover academic hour. I got to cover exercise hour. I got to cover this and that and the other thing. But at the same time, like Ian said, our kids are still, 5 at the oldest?
Mhm.
So I guess we do kind of gotta, we do have to figure out things for them to do, so they're not just sitting there watching TV all day. I don't know. It's tough, man. I don't really know.
And-
I don't know the answer to that
It's also a
And-
different time now too, though. Like, it's also a very different time now.
for sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like, you feel the pressure. You see the parents on Facebook taking their kids here and there, whatever, and you feel like you have to do that or you're a bad parent. Like back
Yeah.
then, they didn't really do that. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't really. There was none of that. You know what I mean? Like, I think now it's a totally
Yeah.
different time, and I think that so much has changed in the last 30 years. That it's not. I mean, obviously, nothing's the same as it was 30 years ago, but
No.
it's like 30 years ago. Like I said, my parents never took me to Patterson's or anything. But I had a good childhood. Like, I had fun.
I
Like,
don't know. Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it was just outside, and it was.
Yeah, but our
Yeah.
parents didn't have that pressure of social media freaking gloating that like, oh, I did this today.
Mhm.
It's added pressure. So you feel like if you don't do those things that everybody else is doing, then you feel like, well, am I a failure as a parent? And then also to go to Brian's point, like we think about like when we were 9 and 10 and whatever, when we used to ride our bikes everywhere, right? We used to meet up on our bikes or what have you. look outside. You know, like even today it was 70 degrees. Do you see a bunch of kids 12 years old to 13 years, like whatever age, riding bikes anywhere? Do you see kids getting together or doing? I mean, I know it's tough because of
There's
social distancing, but there's not like I haven't seen any kids out doing anything.
Right.
No, man, because they got Pornhub on their fucking iPhones at like 7th grade.
You're
Why would
right,
they
though.
go do anything?
Those kids will never know.
Can you imagine?
They
Can
don't
you
know
imagine?
anything about Spice
No.
Hot.
Kev, I
You're
can't.
right.
Having to steal like scenes and look at still photos online, like
Dude,
wait
we
for them to
used to have
load.
to
Dude,
wait.
Each section loads.
Even before that, though, we had to wait till like our mom's like Victoria's Secret magazine came into the mail, and you're like,
JC Penny catalog.
yeah, right, any catalog. You're like,
Are you
you're
guys
waiting
not?
for, like,
You guys not using stills still, or?
BP's all about stills, man. BP's been on stills
He does love
to
stills.
this day.
Stills
Like,
are
yeah, like
great.
the Summer Sanders workout videos on Saturday mornings. Like,
Oh yeah.
speaking of no one's
What
looking.
about the grind on MTV? What are you
Oh
talking
hell yeah, man! Shit, I'd be going TRL, man.
Dude, you
Good to
remember
go.
music videos back in the day? Oh my,
Oh my god.
See, what I used to do with stills, though, is I used to go like this. I used to hold them in my hand like this. I used to go like this and make the stills move. It was almost like a finger pop.
Just a what?
I didn't really, but I'm just saying. You know, like if you have a fucking magazine, right? Oh, fuck. It's not a fucking
amazing.
She's twerking.
No, I get it. It's like really, it's real.
Look at him, dude. He's
It's a real
still
thing.
with that shit.
She still does it.
Now we get it.
Well, no, he's the one taking his laptop around too, though.
Yeah,
Nah,
right.
it's just kidding. I don't have a laptop. I do it at work, but I don't whack off watching a laptop. Too big, too heavy, too hot. What?
For his laugh.
Amazing.
Oh,
I think we're going off the rails here.
Let's
All right,
just hope
where
these
were
two will get
Real
confused.
quick.
BP, were we on you now?
For what?
Yeah.
About still
What are we talking about?
No.
Still.
Right. I'm getting yelled at for being loud.
Oh.
That's all right, Kev.
My wife's
No,
doing her.
We'll do
Sure.
like a popsicle bath. Well, let them take popsicles in the bath. It'll take a while. Let them eat popsicles up there and hang out.
Really?
Yeah.
I just got crayons in the bathtub.
What?
I just recently got crayons for the bathtub.
Oh.
So they could
I remember
draw the tub.
those.
Or like
pretty
suckers,
I'm intended to.
suckers or popsicles. That'll take a little bit of time.
For sure.
Or we
Hold
do a
on.
lot of stuff. We'll do. Ooh, nice bicep, babe. Oh,
Phenomenal.
God
It's
damn, you got a
beautiful.
big one to do
See that thing?
Jesus, there's a
Amazing.
python.
God.
His veins
You're
are like my
vascular.
bicep.
I wouldn't mind getting him in a still.
Are you talking
We all
about me?
would. Yeah, Raj, obviously.
First time I ever heard anything about my biceps. What's up?
Or we'll do a lot with like glow sticks too. Like we'll come in the basement, turn the lights off. When it's like 6 o'clock or so, there's a little light coming in from the windows. Put glow sticks on the floor or something. Or they have like those balloons that have LED lights in them. You know
Oh,
that
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I had a
Feels
few
$15
dollars
important.
at those.
that shit's so cheap at the dollar store. I know you can't really go to the dollar store right now, I guess, but
Target.
we used to do a lot with that, man. Throw those on the ground, just be down here for a while, something different.
Flexing.
Was he?
Oh, uh-oh.
Club out of it.
Oh, it's good
Oh,
dog.
no.
I gotta move.
I mean,
Basement time?
She can only hear you. How fucking loud are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, and you got headphones on.
Yeah. What's going on? His voice. His voice.
You go-
My voice carries. It's very deep and masculine.
That makes sense. I've seen your bicep, so that makes
You see the vein in your bicep. God, that's
Oh, sorry.
uh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Glad you did.
Raj, what's your sister?
Well, like that, BP. That's good shit, man. I mean,
I'm gonna do that tomorrow night.
We do
So I-
popsicle pass all the time.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that.
I wish we could hit the button where we got
Title
like,
box. Yeah, let's go.
Let's do
everybody's idea. I wish we had the button to hit some dad
it.
hacks
No,
going
man,
on
I
here.
wish I could. I couldn't figure out how to add our board into this thing. So
I know. That's the only way to make the Zoom work.
You should have let me know. I could have came over and helped you out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raj,
Hey, yeah.
on top of all the tech.
The guy talking with half of his face cut off the screen.
I know. Like I said, there he is. Oh, there it is.
Man, I don't know whose nose looks bigger, Raj. Yours or mine? Fuck.
They're big. Those are two big ones, bro.
That thing is fucking huge.
I know. It is.
BP normal.
They're all big, man.
I mean, I
It's
got
miserable.
We all got the schnoz.
All right, Raj.
Yeah,
Now we'll
right.
give you some time.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh my god.
Dude, I mean, listen, I am not creative like you guys, man. I just, like, I do, like, I don't know, I guess everyday normal shit, but I don't know. I'm not that outside of the box like you guys. It's tough because I'm not home, and then I get home at like 6:37, and then we just kick it for a few hours.
Well, you don't always have to be outside the box. Just if you're there, that's what matters.
We're there, man.
You know?
And so that's what it is. And like Ian FaceTimed me at 9. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know your kid was like." That's why Colin stays up late. Like we party on the late nights and that's just what we get. So I just try to kick it with him and be present. Like we're just in the basement. He's rides his bike around for fucking hours and we play. I don't know. I'm gonna
That's what
get
it's
creative,
about.
and then next time I'm gonna have something better for you guys. All right.
No, you don't have to
Yeah,
have
but-
anything better
No,
because
you don't have
that's
to.
perfect right there.
The
That's-
bike in the
that's what
basement is
that's
good.
what it's all
It's
about, right?
not
I mean,
better for us. It's better for your kids.
yeah.
Well, no, it's not about the kids. It's about like what you're doing with for the dads of the world.
Hey, let's all be like
But-
Raj.
But you're present though. I mean, like
Yeah, totally.
so, like you're
Yeah,
doing
I
like
get it. I get it, dude. I totally.
yeah,
get
so
it.
you're doing like what every dad should be doing. man.
Totally.
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
There you go.
That's
Hold on.
awesome, Raj.
Can you see me now?
I'm going to get a beer. I'll be right back.
All right, good luck, B.
No,
Get-
Raj,
get
but
me one.
that's what it's all about, man. I mean, just being there. I mean, and having those moments. That's what means the world to them, right? I mean,
Well, and like
It is, man.
like you said, even like you just said, like taking him downstairs to the basement to ride his bike around. Like it's shitty weather. I mean, like yeah, today was nice, but for the most part, wintertime, you can use your basement, and then you're taking your kid to work tomorrow. Like that's amazing. Like you can take him there. He's gonna remember that kind of stuff. Like even if it's a blip of a memory, he's like, dude, I remember I got to go to work with dad on the weekend, and we got to do that. You put a headset on him, make him think he's cool. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like there's all kinds
exactly. And that's the type of shit like Ian, you and I talked about last night, like with like the stuff I remember from like what I did with my dad. Just this random shit that we used to go like on our little like we go on car rides, we go somewhere random and have lunch somewhere, something stupid, something like small that I remember. I don't remember the big things like we went to like you guys said, like we're going to like the art museum or the aquarium. I don't remember any of that shit, but I remember like the small things, like just the time with my parent, like my dad or my parents, like the simple things. And I feel like that's what's important. So spending that time with them.
It's fun though. You got like talking to you guys and like seeing the snaps. Like Steve, you're like, oh yeah, I don't want to keep sending the snap. It's awesome. Like I like seeing it.
Yeah,
like,
it
inspires you to be a better dad. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not that I'm a bad dad. It's just like, okay, these are things you can do with your kids, and that's what makes it helpful. For when you do have that time, you can kind of do some of that stuff. So
yeah, you're the best at responding to the Snapchats. You're the best.
What's
I
that?
never snap. I never snap ever. I'm gonna start snapping so much random shit. It's gonna be awesome.
I love it. Raj, you were like the selfie king last year, dude.
Raj is a strong selfie game.
I know.
I'm going to send all those pictures tonight, actually.
I could see Raj's selfie right now.
Dude, his selfies are glorious.
Yeah.
Tell us more about what you do at night, buddy.
No, but I mean, a good point. There's a lot of social pressure to like have to like adhere to these like crazy schedules and be posting every single thing you do with your kids. It's like if you're there, just like hanging out with them, watching a show, playing a game, hanging out in the basement,
Right.
playing baseball. Like you don't have to post every fucking thing that
No.
you do.
And there's like Kevin, like you just said, like that social, that pressure, like you feel like I need to post this, right? Like I feel like with a small group, I feel more comfortable sending like you guys the videos of those type of things, but I don't feel like I need to put it like on Instagram and Facebook and shit. Nobody gives a shit what I'm doing, but a lot of people do that, and then you feel that pressure, right? Like you feel like.
Sometimes I wonder though, like
Yeah, I never post what I'm doing.
At the same
I
time,
don't care about it.
I do wonder, like we're having this conversation now, and like Steve, me and you have built a thing where we've reached dads in all 50 states and a couple different countries, and like I do wonder if it's almost like our responsibility to say, hey, like because like again, like what we're going through right now. So this coronavirus thing, it's worldwide, right? And so. Like, can we figure out how to tell dads in, like, let's say New York and LA and, you know, whatever. Like, we have people that download the episodes from those cities.
Yeah.
Can we be of service by saying, hey, this is what we're doing? And, like, that's exactly why we did this, right? Like,
that was
knew that, like, not everyone has the friends that have kids the same age, right? And so, like, is there a way that we can do that? And so, like, I know that it's not a necessarily a priority to post those things, but maybe we should be doing more of that. I don't know. Like,
no, absolutely. I think for like what we're doing, yes. I mean, like on our Talking Dads thing, right? Like we should definitely post more of what we're doing to give people ideas of what to do.
Like in the right platform, it's not a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. DeBacco, you're right. Like I think like on a personal level, to just put it out there to our friends, but like from a Talking Dad standpoint, yes, I think Ian, you're right. We should definitely give those ideas out to other dads.
We probably should. Like, here's an idea I have, guys.
As an influencer, I would agree.
Raj, absolutely.
Raj is definitely the influencer. So here's the thing, though, and I
biggest
kind of told you guys
influencer
this yesterday. So yesterday was the first day that I was staying home all day. I was going to be home with the kids. And so I channeled my inner stay-at-home mom. I wore some leggings all day.
That was hot, by the way.
Bro.
Can we show that picture right now on the cast, like live?
Yeah, we'll throw it across the screen.
I'll put it up on the screen once I edit this.
Okay.
Have you guys ever worn leggings?
No, but I'm about to buy a pair. I told my wife to get me a pair.
You guys.
I actually had them on earlier today. They're comfortable.
Game changer.
I wear shorts over them though, but hey, that's your choice.
You don't want to traumatize the kids.
Well, I don't want to turn on my wife too much either. You know, that's stuff to do.
No, that's number one, Kev.
I can't just be stopping, you know, the household activity all day just for sex, you know.
Holy crap, was I comfortable all day long. It's great.
Did Chelsea like them?
So, like, wearing tight leggings is better than wearing, like,
just shorts
with no underwear?
100%. There's like
why is that? Is there more support or something?
No, Raj, you look like your dad, bro.
He does, doesn't he?
Big time.
That face was Tosh, bro.
I've been saying that for years, BP.
What?
I've been saying that for years. That like every couple months, I look at him. I'm like, holy shit, it's Perry Tosh.
If he had a fucking
we lost
broom,
him.
If he had a broom with super around his garage, he'd be like that. Sure.
I'm back. All right, can I get out of this lighting? Can I go somewhere comfortable again?
Go somewhere else, man. Go on your couch.
Dude, that was
now
the
we
first
can't see the
time
sconces.
That was the first time you looked like Tosh.
The sconces were pretty nice.
You have phenomenal sconces.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, rich people sconces.
What are you guys drinking? Kev, what do you got?
Got that E.H. Taylor, whatever I want at your event at Beerhead.
Oh, dude, one of my favorites, man. It's just phenomenal.
Delicious.
Colonel. So good.
I was drinking Woodford.
Okay.
All right, BP, what do you got?
Paco, I feel like you've had like 9 different things just in this.
Seriously. Well, we
podcast.
started at 1:30, so.
Well, this is a spitter now. It was the raspberry. And then I had the glass of Woodford. And now I got a black cherry.
There you go.
But I gotta go take some Tums because I'm starting to get fucking agita from all the goddamn shit.
What's that? Deep Scotch?
Yeah, Nicola, Japanese whiskey.
No, it's Nika.
I like
Oh,
Nicola
what's that-
better.
what's that?
The
Yeah,
Adam
Nicola.
Nicola.
Where's
Oh,
that?
Raj, I haven't seen you
bottle?
drink
Nicola, like my Egyptian friend.
You got
Raj,
the
you
airline
drink
bottle?
Do you have one of the small bottles, like the
The
self-serve?
airline
Oh, there
bottle.
it is.
That's
I haven't
What's that,
seen you drink.
Raj?
what I got.
What's that, Raj?
I got an
what do you
IPA,
want?
man. I can't remember which one it was, though.
What weren't you drinking some bourbon before?
Yeah, I was drinking 1792.
Ah,
Ooh, I love 17.
I know he had some Blanton's.
Actually, I think I'm done drinking.
I made a
now.
Manhattan with some High West rye. So I had that first. And then
Be right back.
Those some crazy crackers.
cheers.
You made a Manhattan?
I did. When we first started, I had a Manhattan that I was drinking.
Oh, all right.
You know, sometimes I like to get fancy. I don't know.
What about you, B?
Got that Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. My birthday present from Ian.
And Elvis juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some Elvis juice going?
Yeah. I gotta switch up.
I want to go back
Hey.
to beer.
That's a great beer, though.
It is
The
good.
Elvis juice is phenomenal. I think
I like it.
the first time I ever had it was from Crockett, actually, at Ian's house.
Yeah. Was that New Year's?
Yeah, I think so.
2 years ago?
So good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm about to hit the hay.
All right,
Okay,
Deep.
Raj?
I feel like we did pretty good. Raj, you got a new dad hack for us?
No.
Dude, riding the bike in the basement, man.
There you go.
I know, but that's kind of lame. You know, so honestly, you guys were asking about talking about to the kids about what's going on. So here's a dad hack. Kids know everything and they pick up on everything and they're smarter than we think. So like Colin just absorbs everything that we talk about. We went to Target and we didn't go inside. We had like a mobile pickup, and that's never happened.
Curbside.
We've never done that. And Head and I were talking, and whatever we were saying, I was driving him to my parents' house 2 days ago, and he goes, "Daddy, can we not go to the ball store?" That's what he calls it, because there's those red balls outside, because people are getting sick. And
Wow.
and like he just kind of pieced it together of why we couldn't go inside. So
Yeah.
So we had a conversation. I'm like, "Yeah, where did you hear that?" He goes, "Well, you and Mommy were talking, and I heard Dadu and Dida talking." And I go, "Yeah, we just can't go because we don't want to get other people sick, and they don't want to get us sick. We're trying to help people." He goes, "Yeah, we're trying to help people." But that's the dad hack, man. Kids know everything. Be honest with them
absolutely.
and talk to them.
Dad hack, because that's a 3-year-old, and I think that's important for people to understand that our 3, 4, 5-year-olds, they pick up everything that we talk about. They understand mood. They understand the exact terminology that you're using, and I think that's actually super important. So that's a really good dad hack, because while we're quarantined or whatever you want to call it, adjusting to life with COVID, like the reality is that your kids, even if you think that my kid's 3, he's not going to pick up on whatever, like they understand it, and like they're going to pick up on what you guys are saying. So that's a good job. Like that's legit.
Yeah. Like, yeah,
All right,
I mean,
Raj.
that was good, man. So love you guys. Appreciate it. Sorry.
That's a good mic drop moment.
Love you.
Tell Baka I said bye.
All right.
We'll do about it. Love you.
I like this Zoom, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Gotta
Let's do
holler.
like a virtual happy hour next week.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
Liz is doing the same thing with some random. I don't even know. She's been in there for like an hour doing the same
With
thing
some
with my
dude.
sister-in-law and all their friends and shit.
With some dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been out here with you guys, so who knows what she's doing.
Yeah, later, back.
But yeah, we're onboarding a new employee next week, and he's based in San Francisco. So I'm having a virtual happy hour over a Google Hangout next Monday night with like the team to like welcome him.
Nice.
It's pretty crazy
different-
that that's
it's
what
weird.
we're
It's
doing
just like-
right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though that you're doing that.
That is
Hey,
awesome.
bro.
Can we come or?
Yeah, are we allowed to come to the happy hour or nah?
I'll send it to you. But we should do that. I mean, we should do that though, like for real, like just
Yeah, we should.
not like record it or whatever, but just
Right.
like can we play Uno on like a virtual hangout, like
Yes.
Dude.
like virtual Uno on like a Google Hangout?
Really?
Let's
I
do it.
think we
Could
should
do
just
that.
share our favorite porn stars next week.
So speaking of that, though, so like Kev brought up Uno, like we all love. Like, for real though, like one of the things that we talked about in the podcast that got released today was how great is it going to be when everything's back open? You know, like Indians games are going to be sold out, bars and restaurants are going to be packed.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's going to be like just so happy to get out, right? And so, not necessarily take advantage of, but the reality is like we're like Steve and I, we had to cancel some of our podcasts because we're just trying to do the right thing, social distancing, all that kind of stuff. But we've been talking for a while about things that we want to do, especially once the weather breaks a little bit, is how can we get dads together? So on two different fronts, one with kids. So we talked about like having like meetups at different parks and things like that. That would be really cool. We're definitely going to do something like that. But then like, what else? Like, do you guys have any ideas? We talked about maybe putting together like a cornhole tournament. Like that would be kind of fun to do. You know, whatever, like a Friday or Saturday night or something like that, where we all try and get together and do something and maybe do it for a cause or whatever. But is there something you guys have like ideas about? Because we're just trying to make sure that we can all like stick together and build this thing. Cool.
Yeah, I
At
think
least
that's a
you
good idea. And I think
It was like dead. Like I thought everybody was frozen for a second.
That's what I thought. I was like,
Dead
I mean-
silence.
down for that. I mean, you guys had that event at Pub Fredo that was planned that I was pumped to go to.
Yeah.
Close to like, it's harder when those things are during the week. Like when you had your stuff at like other bars during the week, like it's just harder for me to
Yep.
attend that. It's harder for other dads to attend during the weekend. So,
Yep.
but yeah, like things like that where there's like an activity where like you can go and you can bring your kids. It's like, oh, we have a cornhole tournament or we have like a flag football game at a park or, you know, like something like where like the kids can be involved. I think that would help.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree. I like the cornhole tournament though,
You like that?
or Beersby or something.
Ooh, Beersby.
Ooh.
A little Beersby tournament.
Dude, I love Beersby.
We should do. I mean, the cornhole thing. Like, I mean, think about like when we were in our 20s. I used to have those cornhole tournaments all the time. That was like,
That was amazing.
we should definitely do that. And like Kevin said, like it's tough on the weekdays. So like if we could put something together on a weekend, try to. I mean, I don't know. It's definitely
I do
something
like-
we could do.
I do like the idea of bringing the kids though, because we could like, if it gets nice, we could have a cookout at a park or something somewhere. You know?
Oh, that's a really good idea. Do a cook.
Yeah. And do,
And then
do
we
something
do-
like
You can do a live podcast at a park like that, have a cookout, and have the kids join at various times and give their perspective on things.
that'd be pretty funny.
That would
that'd be pretty
hilarious.
funny.
I have to know one thing. BP, did you do your hair just for this, or has it been that fresh all day? 'Cause I think I remember a picture that I seen. Your hair was
Oh, like
5
that?
o'clock. There it is.
That's looking fresh.
Amazing.
Dude, I was asleep on Fallon's floor till 9:15. Tara woke me up,
Lucky
and I just
you.
went like this.
Wow.
Amazing.
A pretty amazing recovery.
I haven't gotten a
Seriously.
haircut in 3 weeks. My barber's like, yeah, I can get you a haircut. I'm like, hell yes. I gotta go to his house though.
What hair, bro?
Wait, you go to a barber?
I got divots. I got divots.
Tara's gonna try to cut my hair tomorrow. If it doesn't work, I'm shaving my head.
BP.
Come over to my house, B.
Can you do that live?
What's that?
Shave your head.
Her cutting your hair,
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. That'd be funny.
Dude.
talking as live.
All right, so Kev and Anthony, you guys don't really know this, but back in the day, BP had the best bowl cut. You know, remember
Ever.
cuts were
Oh, I
amazing.
know.
It was
You probably know,
flawless.
But like, we would be riding the bus to Bellflower, and like the dude would like lick his fingers to make sure that his hair was good. He'd go, but then he would use his other hand to like.
COVID.
Amazing. So good.
Where
Well,
Raj was?
amazing.
Did I miss the part where Raj left?
Yeah, he
Oh, he
was-
said
He's
bye.
gone.
Dude, he said bye to you.
he was too
I
late.
had to go get Tums.
Yeah.
Tums.
All right. I think I'm gonna peace out too here, boys.
All right,
All right.
Kev.
Thanks, Kev.
Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate you.
Love you. Let's do this again next week. Let's just do like a
Okay.
virtual happy hour.
You know
Yeah.
what the sad thing about this is? We're hanging out more right now doing this kind of stuff than we do when things are normal.
100%.
That's pretty sad.
All right.
But Kev, love
I
you, buddy.
live a minute and 47 seconds from Ian. I've timed
Yeah.
it.
I'll-
But I've seen
I'll
him more
record my
now
own
in the
time.
back.
Back, or are we hanging out again on Snap Map?
I know your last snap looked pretty sad, guys.
I know.
Well, we were like happy and then we were sad. I don't know. Let's check it out.
And then like
What-
your backs were
what-
turned.
Oh,
What's
we're
this?
happy.
What's that be?
What snap?
Oh, we're looking at each other. Yeah.
Last time you guys your backs were turned, it was concerning.
Well, I'm glad we're not fighting anymore.
We
Yeah.
were mad. Love you guys.
All right,
Well-
Kev, later, buddy.
Hey, bro.
Down.
Bye.
And then there were 4.
All right, boys. I think this was
Great.
interesting. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. You know, we should do more of this, even if it's not recorded or for the podcast or whatever. We should do more of this.
I agree.
Dude, like yesterday, I talked to on the Facebook Messenger. I talked to Harry and Marco and Witterman. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen or talked to any of these guys in weeks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we could do this now. So
It's pretty solid format.
2020, bro.
right.
All right.
I was on one of those calls, B.
BP was on his well, you're on the call now, B. I'm just saying. But BP, your steering wheel was very dusty. You need to clean that up, all right?
There's Corona all over my steering wheel.
There's
You
Corona
wanna see
everywhere.
My fucking car.
My car's a disaster.
All
All right, well, thank you guys. Love you guys.
thank you.
Yeah.
dude.
Appreciate you guys.
right, later,
We'll do it again
dudes.
soon. We'll get together soon, and stay positive, man, because this is crazy.
Later.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Later, dude. Love you guys. See ya.
Hey guys, if you love what you just heard or watched, and we know you did, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up. Share with your friends and throw us a comment, literally about anything. Your support legit keeps us going. Oh, and don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. We really appreciate you.